Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechWhat Solutions, and I hope that I got your attention with the title and thumbnail of this video. You're not going to be disappointed with this video. This video really does have to do with, in my opinion, one of the most difficult parts when it comes down to day trading in the stock market. If you're not familiar with who it is that I am, my name is Ricky. I run the largest YouTube channel and the largest private Facebook group for those who day trade in the stock market. There is no question that when it comes down to making a profit in the stock market, I think that we can both agree that it's enjoyable and we're eager to continue that process, right? That's the fun and enjoyable part. But just like we all know, loss is inevitable in the stock market. And if you don't understand that and you're maybe eager, right, to get started, or you haven't experienced like a huge red day, one of the things that I just want to remind you is that it is, I think, one of the most difficult parts to get accustomed to, especially when you're, very familiar with a 9-to-5, right? If you're familiar with kind of like my backstory, the reason I was able to buy my first house at age 20 was because I had, in a sense, 9-to-5 job, and I really enjoyed it, right? There's a direct input of hours that I would put in, and there's a direct output of compensation, right? And on top of that, commission. Trading and, these kind of lucrative markets are not like that. It's really cool when you dedicate time and you're learning about another market and you make money while doing so. It's very enjoyable, right? But the reason that I think that there's such a high drop-off rate with, Amazon FBA, drop shipping, marketing, trading in the stock market, Forex, crypto, in any market that is not a job in a sense, where it literally, there's some form of risk, even real estate, is because, first of all, there's a learning curve. And when you first begin to experience loss, or you don't end up being compensated in the monetary aspect as you potentially maybe initially expected, it sucks. And there's no easy way for me to put it. So let me just go ahead and jump right into it. So this week, right, Monday, I made a little bit over $2,300 day trading in the stock market. That was in about 1.5 hours of trading. If you guys didn't check out my video on Monday, check it out. Super quick approach when it came down to that specific day. Very enjoyable, very easy. I moved on to the next day. The next day took a little bit longer, but I made a little bit over 1,600. And then, I really enjoyed the day. Today, I started off, there's no easy way for me to put it, I started off on the wrong foot, to say the least. I woke up, I told you guys yesterday, crude oil was super overbought and super overextended. I woke up eager to see if crude oil were to sell off and DWT to potentially begin to uptrend. And it was showing signs of that. There was a lot of consolidation and I was eager to jump in. As soon as I got in, it just ended up going south for me. No easy way for me to put it. Ended up having to cut losses. And during pre-market hours, not even by the time the market was open, I was down nearly $4,000. Shortly after that, I went live with the Learn Plan Profit Group. If you tuned into the live stream, you guys could definitely tell that something was up with me. First of all, I wasn't feeling very good. And then on top of that, just imagine being slapped in the face with a loss of nearly $4,000, right? It's 4%. I traded with $100,000, right? So I was just digging myself in a hole. I didn't trade during that trading session. And then shortly after that, I just continued to take bad trades. At that point, I was, as you guys can see right here, I was down about $6,000 on the day, a little bit over $6,000. And let me explain to you how I felt. I think I can relate to a lot of you, right? I felt very empty in my stomach. I felt like I failed, right? Today, when it came down to my risk management, that thought of, well, I've been doing this for a while, but almost just that idea of like giving up. Of course, I'm not going to give up, but just that idea of like, holy moly, like here we go again, right? Like Monday was so enjoyable, Tuesday was amazing, and then here we go, Wednesday, right? You just think about all the hours that you dedicated to grow your account and then giving it all back. $6,000, a little bit over $6,000, that's about 6% of my account, and that's a hefty amount because I traded with $100,000. So altogether, I pretty much just took a break. I caught a bowl of cereal of Cocoa Pebbles. Pretty much what I told myself was I knew that I was up a little bit over $3,900 in just the first 2 days of trading. I was down a little bit over $6,000, and I was like, I'm not going to make a recovery. I don't, on average, make 6% a day, and I don't want to overtrade and continue to dig myself in a bigger hole. What I began to do, and you guys should be able to see on my screen right here, is I really began to allow the opportunity to present itself. And what I promised myself or committed to was pretty much the idea that I wanted to get back to around that $3,900 range. $3,900 loss means that with $3,900 profit that I made this week, 3 days of trading, and I pretty much break even. Obviously, that's not something that anyone wants to do, but at the end of the day, I felt like I can at least end the week on a strong note by trading well on Thursday and trading well on Friday. And I just wanted to share with you guys my story. So you guys are going to be able to see like exactly what I began to do when it came down to trading /CL and DWT. I began to chip away on that loss and really began to recover quite a bit. And I ended up hitting that $3,900 mark. Cool, right? So now I'm pretty much at that break even mark 3 days into trading. What I wanted to share with you guys is that, you know, it sucks. There's no easy way to put it, and I'm someone that's been doing this for like years, and a lot of you guys sometimes ask me like, Ricky, like you're doing so well trading with $100,000, and being completely honest, like, you know, I am building a lot of confidence. I'm trying to build my experience trading with $100,000. For those that are not familiar, I recently scaled from day trading with $25,000 per position to now $100,000, and people think that it's so easy and all they're focused on, right? So if you're someone that's like has been consecutively green, again, this is just my opinion, and please just take it as that, but people always just are so eager to scale at such a rapid pace. And it's almost refreshing, as weird as it sounds, to have a red day. So I do agree. Red days and days where you lose money are probably one of the worst days or one of the worst parts when it comes down to trading, especially if you struggle in managing your risk. But it's almost refreshing because it reminds you that there's no such thing as a perfect day trader. You're always going to make mistakes, and you're being challenged every single day with, in my eyes, your ability to identify patterns if you're a technical trader, your ability to, you know, be patient and wait for confirmation, and your ability to manage your risk. And those are challenges that as day traders, we are put up to the plate every single day. And today I failed. There's a quick move on /CL. It dropped DWT, and I froze. I struggled to cut losses, and there's no easy way to put that, but it's just like, this is a perfect example of why I have to continue to refine myself as a trader. When it comes down to making a profit with $100,000, yeah, I'm pretty great. I'm pretty consistent, and I can pat myself on the back for that. But one of the areas of opportunity that I need to work on is risk management. And when things don't go according to plan, just like how I recovered, I began to really chip away from this loss in a very effective way. I was waiting for confirmation. I was really managing my risk as things were potentially going south. And I just tried to minimize every single loss moving forward. And I focused on confirmation, making sure the direction was in my favor. And it really began to make sense. Think about it. Like I pretty much chipped away on $2,400. So if I would have just been patient enough, I could have been up $2,400. I could have been up nearly, you know, what is that, $6,000 on the week. But at the end of the day, like, loss is inevitable. And yeah, it, in my opinion, is one of the worst parts when it comes down to trading, because, you know, from our beginnings, like, we are usually compensated for the time that we put in to our work. And the stock market just doesn't work like that. So I just wanted to make this video, talk to you guys about how much I was down, how much I ended up being down, and overall on the week, right, with my 2 green days on Monday and Tuesday, today being Wednesday, the crude oil report, I really didn't do a good job. But at the end of the day, we're starting off fresh tomorrow. We're going to be challenged and put up to the plate. And I pretty much just wanted to, you know, extend an arm and ask you, right, if you have any questions, if you're struggling right now and being able to, like, you know, keep a clear mind. Cutting losses is always the most difficult part, but stopping the bleeding, meaning that closing that position out altogether, really does help out, to say the least. That's really where I was able to step away from the computer and really began to like gather my thoughts and set up a plan rather than revenge trading. So what I wanted to ask is, if you're interested, if you want to talk, I'm going to put the first link down below. It's for our TechBot Solutions Discord chat. And I just want to remind you that like making a profit in the stock market is I don't want to say the easiest part, but when you're doing it, it's the most enjoyable and it seems very easy, right? It seems like nothing else can go wrong. But at the end of the day, loss is 100% inevitable. It just comes down to how you manage it. Being extremely selective, being extremely patient, those are all things that are very simple, but a lot of the times people tend to overlook. So just wanted to share my experience with you guys on a red day, how I was able to not really recover, but recover a portion of my loss and my overall mindset and what assisted in that. I also do want to remind you that we are going to be hosting our free live trading session this Friday. So if you want to be able to watch me trade live absolutely for free, it's a lot of fun. I usually do this only once a month, and it just gives you the ability to see me buy, sell, trade, have me explain my thought process on why I'm buying, why I'm selling. So if you've ever wanted to see what it's like to see someone actually day trade live in the stock market, I'd love for you to join me for that free live trading session. And again, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be that second link below, just so you can save your spot. I appreciate your guys' time. All the links are down below if you guys would like to stay connected. If you guys have any questions, again, feel free to message me on Discord. Continue working hard, continue following dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. I really hope that I earned your thumbs up in this video. It really helps out our channel. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.